Have you ever found yourself constantly trying to please someone, bending over backward to keep the peace, only to feel drained and unappreciated? What if one day, you just decided to stop being nice to them? Specifically, what happens when you stop being nice to a narcissist? In this video, we'll explore the consequences of withdrawing your kindness, and how this can profoundly affect both you and the narcissist. Prepare yourself for an eye-opening journey, as we delve into the psychological intricacies and social dynamics at play when the nice person stops being nice to a narcissist. Narcissists, by definition, are people who possess an inflated sense of their own importance, a deep need for excessive admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. They can be manipulative, self-centered, and emotionally draining, leaving others around them constantly in a state of uncertainty. The idea of not being nice to a narcissist may sound strange, or even counterproductive, especially if you've spent a long time trying to make things work. But what if you stop catering to their every whim? What happens when you stand your ground, stop being overly agreeable, and refuse to tolerate their toxic behaviors? Could it lead to positive changes in your life? Or will it spark a storm of chaos? Let's take a closer look at the realities of ceasing your niceness toward a narcissist. This exploration isn't just theoretical. It's rooted in real-world behavior patterns and psychological principles. By the end, you'll gain a deeper understanding of what happens when you stop feeding the narcissistic need for constant validation and attention. Starting with the idea of narcissistic behavior, narcissists often have an insatiable need for admiration, which drives much of their interactions with others. They thrive on praise and attention, and they manipulate situations to ensure that they remain at the center of focus. If you've been in close contact with the narcissist for any length of time, you may have found yourself constantly seeking their approval, adjusting your actions to avoid conflict, and suppressing your own needs. At first glance, stopping this behavior might seem like it would upset the balance in your relationship. But in reality, it may be the best thing for your mental and emotional well-being. When you stop being nice to a narcissist, they will likely react in one of several ways. At first, they might be surprised. After all, they're used to people pandering to their egos, so any deviation from that norm can be disorienting. However, their reaction will depend on how much control they have over you and how much they value your attention. If you're someone they perceive as a source of admiration and validation, they may try to pull you back in with manipulation or guilt. This is where the power struggle begins, because narcissists will often not take kindly to losing their hold on their victims. The first instinct of a narcissist when faced with someone refusing to feed their ego is to ramp up their charm or demand attention in more overt ways. They may begin showering you with praise or, conversely, become passive-aggressive, guilt-tripping you for not giving them the adoration they believe they deserve. The more you resist, the more creative their tactics become. They may turn on the charm, reminding you of all the good they've done, or using their manipulative skills to create doubt in your mind. If you're used to giving them positive reinforcement, their sudden shift in behavior will likely leave you feeling conflicted. This can cause you to second-guess your decision to stop being nice, which is exactly what they want. However, the moment you stand firm in your decision and stop tolerating their toxic behaviors, the narcissist will face a harsh reality. You are no longer an easy target for their manipulation. This can be unsettling for them, as their entire sense of self-worth often depends on external validation. The absence of their usual source of admiration and compliance can leave them feeling exposed and vulnerable. Narcissists are, at their core, insecure individuals who rely on the admiration of others to maintain their fragile sense of superiority. When you stop being nice, you remove their shield of validation. This can trigger a range of emotional reactions, from anger to frustration, or even desperation. In some cases, the narcissist may attempt to escalate the situation by involving other people or spreading rumors about you. This is another manipulation tactic designed to isolate you or turn others against you, making you feel guilty or ashamed for standing up for yourself. They may try to create a narrative in which you're the one who's wrong, and they are the victim. This is a common strategy used by narcissists to regain control over the situation and preserve their inflated sense of self. But what happens when you stand your ground? What are the long-term effects on both you and the narcissist? For you, the immediate benefit of stopping being nice to a narcissist is reclaiming your personal boundaries and emotional energy. You'll likely find yourself feeling less anxious and more empowered as you stop sacrificing your own needs in an attempt to appease someone who has shown little regard for your well-being. The act of setting boundaries with a narcissist is, in essence, a reclaiming of your self-worth and personal integrity. The narcissist's response to disengagement largely depends on how much they value your relationship and how much they rely on your validation. In many instances, their initial anger or frustration may subside, but the long-term consequences could be more significant. Over time, the narcissist may come to view you as a lost cause and move on to someone else who can provide the attention they constantly crave. Alternatively, they may initiate a prolonged period of manipulation and guilt-tripping in an attempt to regain control and restore their sense of power over you. In either case, the narcissist will likely come to realize that their usual tactics no longer work, which may force them to adapt or, in some situations, move on completely. When we step back to evaluate the broader lessons learned from disengaging with the narcissist, one of the most empowering realizations is how stopping the cycle of pleasing and enabling them can significantly improve your mental health and emotional stability. While it's undoubtedly a challenging process, it allows you to shift the focus back onto your own needs and well-being. By refusing to play into their manipulative games, you begin to reclaim control of your life and create space for healthier, more fulfilling relationships. A key takeaway from disengaging with the narcissist is the importance of protecting your emotional boundaries. Narcissists often thrive on your compliance and emotional investment, and by establishing and maintaining firm boundaries, you communicate to them that their tactics will no longer work. This decision helps shield your well-being and prevents further manipulation, which can be emotionally draining and destabilizing. Moreover, disengaging from a narcissist requires immense courage. It's about standing firm in your belief that you deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. The process is not always easy, and there may be moments of self-doubt, but it is essential to recognize that your self-worth is not defined by how others treat you, especially a narcissist who seeks to diminish it. Taking back your power is an act of self-love and self-respect. To everyone who has taken the time to explore the complexities of narcissism with me, I want to express my gratitude. The information shared is meant to empower you and remind you that you are deserving of respect, healthy boundaries, and emotional peace. Standing up to a narcissist is not simply about protecting yourself. It is also about reaffirming your worth and asserting your personal power. I encourage you to share this valuable information with others who might benefit from it. Finally, remember to be kind to yourself throughout this journey. Prioritize your emotional well-being and take care of yourself because you are worth it. I hope you found this discussion insightful, and I invite you to subscribe for more content that can continue to support and guide you. Until next time, take care and continue to grow in your emotional strength and resilience.